Hey guys, it's Brittany from Brit's Weight Loss Journey. I hope you guys are having a good night tonight, and hope you had a great weekend. I was just had a few things on my mind, so I thought, and John Paul, and Daddy, I just thought I'd come to you, maybe just introduce myself, tell you a little bit more about me, and a little bit of my journey. I am 32 years old, like I've said before. I have 4 beautiful kids, 3 daughters, 1 boy that we just had. I am a stay-at-home mom. I also have lots of little side things I do. I'm a hairstylist. Been doing that 13, almost 14 years. No, 12, almost 13 years. Yeah, don't go by my hair right now. It's pretty much heinous, but that's okay. I am a Zumba instructor. I love to dance. Dancing has always been a huge passion of mine. So I became a Zumba instructor after I tried it one time and fell in love with it. I love it. I'm not an active teacher right now necessarily, just because I just had a baby and it's kind of hard with all the kids. So I just kind of sub when I can. But would love to get back in it full, well, a lot more. I also do these crock pot meals that I make for people and they buy them off of me. And I also paint. I kind of a little jack of all trades, you know. But I just wanted to kind of tell you guys a little about that and about what I do. I'm going all the time. I have kind of just been like, what do I vlog about right now? Because, you know, I'm heavy, I'm at a high weight, and I'm like, no one wants to hear this. But, you know, I've been there, I'm starting fresh, I want to say everything that's on my mind. I'm actually doing this weight loss contest. I thought, you know, I'm already doing weight loss and on my journey and trying to change my life back to how it was. So I decided that I would do this little weight loss journey, or this weight loss contest that some girls I know on Facebook are putting on, which is so awesome because it's always so awesome to have just an incentive. There is money involved, but honestly, I know it's so corny and cliche to say, but I want to win. I'm a very competitive person, but if I don't win and I just lose weight, I mean, seriously, the money's a bonus and it's awesome and it'd be great, but it's truly just exciting to be part of that. But I did weigh in today, and something that should be very depressing, and honestly, it is, but I'm not going to let beat myself up about it because I'm doing something about it. My starting weight is 242 pounds, 242.6 pounds. By far the heaviest I've ever been. I'm almost 8 weeks postpartum. Way heavier than I was 8 weeks postpartum with my third. No, not way heavier, but 10 pounds more. I did not expect this, but that's okay. We start from where we have to start, and that's where I'm going. And I hope you all can, you know, as hard as it seems, your starting point and as far as it seems away is what really got me started on my journey a year and a half ago. Almost 2 years ago, was the inspiration from Instagram. But a huge thing that got me inspired was seeing one of the people, and it was Happy Hungry Fit. I've talked about her before, Molly. And I looked at her and I remember thinking, she did this in a year. And I thought, think about a year from today. So watching this video or this exact day, think about where you were a year ago and think about how fast it went by. Like, as we get older and as we have kids and as we just get busier, time flies by. And I remember thinking, you know what? I don't even care if I'm at my goal in a year, but as long as I have bettered myself in a year. And that's why before I got pregnant with John Paul, I was so successful for so long. I feel because I just told myself a year, like in the whole scheme of things, a year is nothing. Like it's such a little time. And so I thought if I can dedicate 1 year, we'll go from there. So I thought if I can at least dedicate that 1 year, we'll see where I am. If I haven't lost any weight and I've worked my butt off, then I'll stop. But obviously that didn't happen, and that's not going to happen if you are doing what you should do and by just making healthier choices. One thing that I did and that I'm doing again this time. I'm approaching a little bit different this time, going a little fuller force, I guess, from the beginning, because I do know what needs to be done a little more than when I started last time on my journey in February 2015. I've always just taken small steps, because everything I do, I try to make it realistic. Because for me, I've tried those things. I've tried Weight Watchers, and I'm not saying any of these are bad. I tried Weight Watchers. Man, it is so awesome, and it works for a lot of people. Unfortunately for me, I'm not one that I'm going to sit and write down all my food down and journal. I've tried and I try, and eventually it's unrealistic with my lifestyle. Same thing for just counting calories or doing MyFitnessPal. That app is the coolest app ever. Like, it's truly cool. And for those people that will actually like do it, it's great. And I'll do it, but I can't, it just has never formed a habit for me. So for me, it just was hard and unrealistic with my lifestyle. So for me, I start from the beginning and I make very small changes. Like, I've always been a big pop drinker. I always drink a lot of water, but I've been a big pop drinker. So one thing that I tried to do from the very beginning is just get my water in. Get my water in, get enough water in 8, what is it? The recommended is 8 cups of water, or 8 glasses of water a day, or whatever. I drink, it's like 64 ounces, I think. I don't know. But my first focus is that. So really try to get your water in, and subtract 1 pop a day, which I only usually would have 1, maybe 2. But I just started there when I first started. And to some people it might be like, no, but every time in the past that I went like full force, like, no, I'm working out for 2 hours, 5 days a week. I'm not drinking any pop. I'm having no sweets. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Every time I've done that, I've been unsuccessful. I'm successful for a short period, but it's unrealistic. And that's what always led me to binging or doing something like that. I'm not saying that everyone is like me, but I do believe that there is a big percentage, especially if you struggle with food like I do. I feel like that's not a very realistic approach. So for me, it's just starting small with small changes. And as you get that change down, you can add another one and another one. And then eventually it becomes second nature and you got it. And if, maybe if you are doing Weight Watchers or MyFitnessPal or something that you do have to write down your things, maybe that's your first step, is just making sure you write whatever it is down every day, because you will form habits. And I definitely did last time. But those are just the small steps I'm taking. I'm going to try to work out at least 3 times a week. I eventually will get to 5, 6 days because I love working out. But again, starting small, not trying to be unrealistic. I have 4 kids. One's an 8-week-old. One's a crazy, wild 22-month-old. So it's not always realistic that I will make it to the gym every day. Well, it will be, because I'm going to make it. But starting off, I just want to do 3 days a week at least. Bravo to me if I make it more. And then today, after weigh-in, I ended up, didn't work out because the gym was already almost closed by the time I got home. And my friend Leslie, she came by, and we went on the longest walk, and it was so great. And she's kind of one of those people that I'm very blessed to have, and that I feel like God definitely just put her in my life for things like this. She's a good motivator, and I had a great time on we probably walked for an hour and a half. I was really sore and hurting when I got home. Not hurting, but pretty sore. So it was awesome that I at least got to end up getting that in. So props, or excited to get to have walked with you, Leslie. I love you. And yeah, so that's what I did tonight. Ate a few pieces of chicken. One of my main goals that I always start off with, too, other than water, is not eating past 8, which is realistic for me, but also hard because I don't stay up real late. Well, now we've been staying up till about 11 because John Paul doesn't like to go to sleep till sometimes like 10, sometimes 11. But not eating after 8 and drinking enough water and really just trying to make healthier choices. Really, being aware of what I'm putting in my body. That's what has worked for me, is just being like, okay, is this going to benefit me in any way? Or, you know, if I'm starving, which I try not to let myself get starved, but if I'm starving, if I put this cheeseburger in my mouth or if I put this piece of grilled chicken, am I going to be the same satisfied? For me, absolutely. I'm always the same satisfied, but usually just as satisfied with chicken because it tastes just as good and it's so much healthier for me. So, those are just my small steps that I'm starting as I start this weight loss journey again. If you have any questions, ask me. I know it's kind of hard to look at me right now and think I know what I'm doing because I don't. It's always a learning process. But I do feel confident that I know what needs to be done to be successful and get back to myself. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. And I'm so blessed by y'all and following me, and I just really appreciate it. So I promise one day I won't look so scary whenever I do these vlogs, but until then, you actually just missed me. I did just have makeup on actually, which is rare, but I did. But I hope you guys have a marvelous night, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.